Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geeks and Noobs podcast. Uh, Slightly late start, just a minute. We're fine. It's all good. Once again, more technical issues, but it's okay. Uh, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know every time we go live. I've gotten back to playing games, so there's going to be a lot of lives here coming up. Started last night, doing the entire Lego Harry Potter series, years 1 through 7. Over 7 days. So that's going to be lots of fun. Doing that again tonight, 10 p.m. So make sure you tune in for that. Also, you can see it on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, please hit that follow button. If you're feeling ever so generous, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want, you can make Jeffrey Bezos pay for it. Use your Amazon Prime, and it's free for you. If you're on Facebook, what the hell? Facebook, hit that follow for the group. Hit that thumbs up button. Share it with your friends. Let them know when you're live or when we're live, and they can tune in as well. I am, of course, SuperBeard Vince Hoover. I am rocking the brand new 3/4 sleeve baseball jersey style shirt. Get that at our
Nice.
merch store. It fits super comfy. It fits perfectly. It's actually kind of slimming, which is great for a fat man like me. Um, Feels amazing. Great material. Get them if you're on Twitch. Our merch store is just below the About Us. If you're on YouTube, it's in the description. It's thegeeksandnoobs.live. Oops, excuse me. You can get it there. So if you're interested, please go do that. Kel is also wearing our Geeks and Noobs t-shirt in the orange. That's available in several different colors.
Orange, black, pastel blue.
Yeah.
They all look great.
Yeah, the baby blue is my favorite. Sky blue, pastel blue, whatever you want to call it. It's beautiful. So make sure you check that out as well. Now, anybody who remembers last week, we got a bit of a late start as well. Had some technical difficulties because we want to break down a trailer in real time. And because we're gluttons for punishment, we're doing it again. And
Just for you people,
of
because that's how
course,
much we care.
yeah, and of course, technical issues again. But
Yeah.
we will get it figured out one day. But for now, we're doing it this kind of ass backwards way. But we're going to do it. We're going to look at the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. That is going to be pretty awesome and fun to look at. Now, I did get a chance to go see Black Adam over the weekend, finally. Kel has not got a chance to see it yet because obviously family comes first.
Yeah, I was planning Tuesday. I had off this week. I was gonna go see it, but I felt like crap. I really thought I had COVID. My chest was hurting, my head was hurting, my lower back was killing me. And I thought, sure enough, I got COVID. But my wife went and got me some drugs, and I mean, just some ibuprofen. Took those, instantly better after that. So then I was planning on going Wednesday, and then my daughter was sick. So I had to take care of hers. But, it is what it is.
Well, to be honest, you haven't missed a whole lot. It's not something like you could. This is one of those movies that, I mean, it's fine. It's absolutely a popcorn film, but
It's
it's
like we said,
very,
it's a rock movie. I mean,
yeah, it's very flat. Not a ton of character development from anybody. Uh, Very tropey, very predictable. It's fine, it's fun, but it's one of those movies that like you don't have to, even though it's a big action flick, you don't have to see it on the big screen. Like you can wait till it comes to the streaming. Maybe buy it, like get all the extended behind the scenes stuff, but
yeah.
it really is just kind of it falls kind of flat, which is a shame because I mean I have so much hope for the DCU. Now that James Gunn's involved, and I actually think The Rock being involved is actually a good thing because he will push things to get done, just like the post credit scene that he himself leaked for over a week, like he was talking about, spoiled for over a week, with the return of Henry Cavill as Superman. I do believe that there's merit there. I do believe that there is something to it, but it kind of fell flat. I'm gonna be honest. So, Future asked, "Is it better than Rampage?" Honestly, I enjoyed the movie Rampage because it's a kind of nonsensical '80s arcade game turned into a movie. Kel, thanks for sharing the stream. Um, so it was kind of like, and that movie was kind of like along that lines, and then like it had some slightly convoluted plot lines in Rampage, but I actually like, I think Rampage was a little bit better. I think they got more character development out of George the Gorilla than they did out of some of the characters in Black Adam. So,
Oh man.
and like the thing is like too is like, and I'm not trying to harp on this movie. I'm really not, because like I said, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just you couldn't pick it out of a lineup is the problem of action films. But like Dr. Fate, who is one of my all-time favorite characters, predates Doctor Strange by 20 years, 23 years, I think exactly. But they're not like, well, they're both sorcerers and the tops of their game. That's kind of where the similarities end, because Dr. Fate is never this. It's not the same person. Over generations, it changes because it's actually the helmet, possessed by the god Naboo, who chooses a champion to be Dr. Fate in that time. But then he also possesses that person and kind of doesn't give them much choice. And you can't take the helmet off whenever you want. You are beholden. It's similar to like Moon Knight and Khonshu, but Mark Spector had more choice
Yeah.
than a person who is Dr. Fate. Pierce Brosnan was a fantastic choice, but they play him up like Doctor Strange and not like Dr. Fate, which is a bit of a
Ah.
problem. Hawkman also again fell flat. That character has such a deep and rich history. Again, another one of my favorites. And I felt that like I would love to see these characters again. And there was a second post-credit scene that was cut, which may hurt the chances of seeing Dr. Fate again. I won't go into any more spoilers than that. Atom Smasher was there. There's something about DC films where they try to make somebody, and I don't know if it's their attempt at trying to mimic Marvel humor, but they make one of the characters kind of a bumbling idiot. Like, remember the Flash in the Justice League? Not even knowing how to run properly and, like, always tripping and, yeah, like, but he was always tripping over things and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, Atom Smasher in this one is kind of like, this is like his first actual mission, and, like, this is his first time really using the powers outside of practicing with his uncle, the original Atom Smasher, who, by the way, played by Henry Winkler in a quick cameo, which I thought was great.
I
Cyclone,
love Winkler.
I love him. Cyclone to me was a highlight.
God bless the Fonz.
I think Cyclone in the film is a highlight. I think her costume is amazing. I think her power set, the way they did it with the ability to use wind and cyclones, and the way that it, like, as she would spin her flowy costume, the colors would come into the spiral, giving it this green and purple effect at first. It was really cool looking. She was a great character. Again, Black Adam is nothing like Black Adam in the comics, and I'm okay with adaptations, but like, he's not an anti-hero by any stretch of the imagination. He's very much a hero in this. Like, you
So
know how
he's
people
not.
look at Punisher as an anti-hero, right?
Yeah.
Because he's willing to kill. And while Black Adam is willing to kill, by the end of this film, he is very much a hero. He is not an anti-hero to me by any stretch, and I think that's part of the problem. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Because when you have an established character like uh the anti-hero, it's hard to really push them towards being a actual hero.
Well, there was so much more that could have been done with the character. There was so much more that could have been done as far as like getting away from tropes, and it was very tropey. It was very tropey and thus predictable because it was so tropey. Intergang being part of the main villains was a little weird, but I thought actually a good fit for what they were trying to do. And then the Demon Sabat being the main, like, he looked amazing, looked phenomenal. But again, it was just everything was very tropey. So I'm not saying don't go watch it. It's fun for what it is, and you don't have to go off to the theater to watch it. You can wait till streaming. You can wait till it comes out on DVD, whatever you want to do, um, to watch it. Uh, this was one of those things that if DC had tried to mimic Marvel a little bit more by putting maybe certain things on like Disney Plus or there for them HBO Max,
Yeah.
maybe putting this on HBO Max, it might have just felt way better just watching it at home for free. Like I know that there are certain people who decided to stand up and scream and cheer and film their reaction to that post credit scene. And this is the same person who is saying that Black Panther 2 is mid. Um, Figure that one out, which I know we haven't seen it yet, but I can't even possibly see how in any way how Black Adam will not, by any stretch of the imagination, be better than Black Panther 2. It's just, I don't see it's possible. This isn't a Marvel versus DC thing. This is a quality thing. Um,
Yeah.
every other review talks about how emotional and how great Black Panther 2 is. I'm really looking forward to seeing that, which is coming up here very soon. We're getting that November 11th, I want to say. So technically November 10th because it should come out on Thursday.
Yeah.
But then we've got this holiday special. Also for Marvel, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which is kind of a rip on the old Star Wars holiday special, which actually introduced Boba Fett to the canon of Star Wars.
Yeah.
However,
Really
it is one of the worst pieces of media ever created.
oh my god.
But it's one of those things that it's so bad it's good. Like it's one of those like almost a kink watch in a way. Like it's a tie me up and choke me daddy watch.
Yeah.
Like it's kids, anybody watching, ask your parents what that means. Ask for vivid detail. But yeah, no, like the holiday special for Star Wars is atrocious, but also hilarious because it's like kind of like the movie The Room or with Tommy Wiseau or a movie called Six String Samurai. Which if nobody's ever seen Six String Samurai, I beg you to watch it. It is so bad, it is that good.
Oh, I love a good
The
bad.
devil is basically Slash from Guns N' Roses. Literally a guy with curly hair and a top hat playing a guitar. It At one point there's like these Clockwork Orange mimes on roller skates that he fight. It's a terrible film. But regardless, that's what it was. So, but James Gunn is obviously inspired by these kind of quirky and kind of insane geek and fantasy things, and so this is very much. I'll take things I didn't hear come out of my brother's mouth for 500, Alex. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but obviously this isn't going to be like James Gunn's obviously going to do a great job with this, and just from this trailer alone, it looks
fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to it. Before we actually jump into the trailer, let's talk about it and talk about like these special presentations and what Marvel's kind of like. Marvel is adapting and evolving what they're doing, which I find fascinating. And oh, that's not what I wanted to do. But like, so we got Werewolf by Night, which was obviously a massive, massive, massive success. It was just very much a fun ride.
Oh yeah, I
can watch that.
Wait to see Jake and Tim come back. Man thing. It was just Ted. There's thank you for the correction. But their chemistry together was just so on point, especially for the first time that we saw these characters.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. Had so much fun with it. So I really appreciate these kind of like, it's similar like when they started the MCU and they started doing these one shots to kind of like help bridge some gaps. But instead of them being like 5-minute shorts, they're hour-long specials. And like you don't need a series. Like although I let's be honest, a Werewolf by Night series would have been amazing. But You're able to introduce these characters in a specific genre. And the same with this. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, those are already established characters, but we're doing this kind of like spin-off Christmas story. It's just a feel-good setup for the holiday season, as well as kind of a slight setup for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Because now we can kind of like, there's a lot of like, Star-Lord is depressed because he misses Christmas, he misses his family. He also very much misses Gamora, the love of his life. But now we don't have to really explore that much further in the film, and we can go right into what is going to be the final Guardians of the Galaxy movie without having to they can explore that in this little special, as well as give it a nice lighthearted Christmassy tone. So we're going to get a lot of fun in it. It's also introducing Kevin Bacon to the MCU. And when I say introducing Kevin Bacon to the MCU, I'm not saying that Kevin Bacon is going to play somebody in the MCU. They're legit introducing the actual Kevin Bacon to the MCU.
Kevin Bacon plays himself in this.
Which I find funny, but it also allows him to come in for more cameos down the line as Kevin Bacon. You could have him in Secret Invasion as maybe a Skrull. Like, there's all kinds of things you can do. So I'm really looking forward to what it can possibly accomplish.
Yeah.
And one more thing. We're getting another version of Groot. And as we go through the trailer, we'll take a look at it. But this is almost like Groot on steroids a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But
so he's grown. He's not the full height he was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's very much taller than most of the humans. But he's also like massive.
Yeah.
It's like
stacked. Like a pile of wood stacked.
Yeah, like football player Jacques always hitting the weight room, kind of like. So this is like from like adolescent Groot we got from before to maybe like young adult. Like this is like 18, 19, 20 equivalent age for Groot. Like this is him like maybe in college as a college standout football offensive lineman, kind of like, or defensive tackle, big ass linebacker, kind of like,
yeah,
almost like Jock Groot in a sense. So we'll go through that in the trailer. Well, also Cosmo.
Thoughts about Groot's design, but we'll get into that one.
Yeah, we got Cosmo coming back, which is great. And if anybody who ever played the Guardians of the Galaxy game on PlayStation, Cosmo was a big part of that. But in this one, it's actually a slight gender swap. Well, not slight, it is a gender swap in that it's actually being Cosmo will be voiced by a woman. And I'm going to look up Cosmo voice actor Guardian. It's Maria Bakalova. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Maria Bakalova.
God, why is that name familiar to me?
I'm trying to think. Let's see what some stuff she's been in. She's best known for her role, and she played, I believe, she was in Borat's subsequent movie film. She was in the Borat sequel. She was also in Judd Apatow's The Bubble and Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So she's relatively new to at least the American scene. But he will be voicing Cosmo in this. So Cosmo is typically considered a male character, but in comics and in the game. But in this, we're going to get it as a female, which I think works just as fine.
Yeah.
Especially considering technically, like, Cosmo's powers are telepathy and enhanced empathy. So I think that I think having a woman do it, I think will be great. So I look forward to that as well. But the gang's all back. Kraglin, Mantis, Drax, Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Nebula. And it just looks like they're just trying to like cheer up, it shows like it's something that was kind of touched on in Thor Love and Thunder. the family aspect, which has been building through the films. We saw it really start to come alive at the end of the second one. We saw it through Infinity War and Endgame. We saw it more in Thor and Love and Thunder and their small cameo there. And we're going to really see it come to a head in the third film, which unfortunately it seems like a lot of them aren't going to make it out alive. But,
Yeah, make sure you bring your tissues.
yeah. But what I'm liking is that this Christmas special is going to, like I said, bridge some of that gap and really focus on the family aspect of them in a fun, lighthearted holiday kind of way.
Yeah. Also, in a way, the Groot shorts kind of did that with the last episode of that Magnum Opus.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that made me tear up. Those are great. Those are such great little episodes. Those were
They
so much fun.
were. I mean, every one of them was just so cute, and just what you expect out of a baby Groot.
Yeah, absolutely. So that being said, let's jump into the trailer. I'm going to put the BRB screen up for just a second as we get it set up, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. Now you guys can see this. So we're good there. See my mouse, which is good. All right, here we go. All right, I'm already going to stop it there. Mainly because I want to talk about like this actual special presentation screen. I know a lot of people, when Werewolf by Night came out, they attributed this entire special presentation screen strictly to Michael Giacchino, the composer turned director for Werewolf by Night. And they're like, oh, he must have watched the old CBS special presentations growing up. But the fact that this is actually the banner for all special presentations tells me this is a Marvel thing, not a Michael Giacchino thing. All right, moving on.
I just saw on the calendar that right now on Earth, it's almost Christmas time.
We don't have time for trivialities like Christmas.
But Peter's so sad about Gamora being gone.
Right there, the entire plot laid out for you.
Yeah.
Peter is depressed, obviously to the point where they seem like they can't even get missions done. They seem to be stuck. I don't know if that's nowhere where they're at or another planet they can go to.
I mean, it kind of looked like a different planet because the color scheme was completely different from nowhere.
It felt like there was a sun.
Yeah.
But it also looks like maybe like a Ravager planet that they can get to. Maybe the one like in Volume 2 where they were like at the bar with the android waitresses and stuff, where we meet Sylvester Stallone's character and everything else. Maybe that planet?
Could be. I mean, it was snowing on that particular planet, but it could have been that planet's winter season for all we know. So, but I definitely don't think it's nowhere because the color schemes are just way off.
Yeah. But like, Kraglin paying attention to the Earth calendar and saying, oh, it's Christmas, so even though Star-Lord's been gone from Earth for 30 years, he's still an Earthling at heart, and sure he pays attention to that calendar as well and understands. But also, this is like the first time that Marvel's really kind of like even indirectly talked about the difference in time. Because like in space, like the faster you're going, slower time moves for you. The closer to a black hole, like you saw that in Interstellar, that's all very like real when it comes to time space. So the fact that they're kind of like at least indirectly kind of discussing it via this, like, oh, well, on Earth it's Christmas time, even though it might be summer there, or it might be, who knows when they're feeling it is. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. They're gonna touch on that too. But
also, when I first saw it, I was like, how in the world would all the other Guardians know what Christmas is? But Peter's probably told them throughout the years.
Well, also somebody brought this up, and I don't remember who it was, but there is a chance that there are Christians beyond just Earth, because in Thor: Love and Thunder, they did point out indirectly basically Jesus Christ. Oh, the God of carpentry. And then
That's a
Satan
fair
was
point.
mentioned. And don't like Satan was mentioned for most human souls sacrificed. So the God of Christianity, God, Jesus, Satan, that's all part of the pantheon of gods in the Marvel universe, cinematic universe. So Christianity could span beyond just Earth. So Christmas could be a thing across the universe, different places, because so there's a good chance that that it's not just the fact that maybe Nebula has heard of it because other people celebrate Christmas, other planets that she's helped Thanos conquer have celebrated Christmas, or it's just that Christianity is far more widespread across the universe than we think. So that's a possibility.
Maybe if we go to Earth for a really wonderful Christmas gift, it would make him happy.
So again, just a few lines establishes what the movie or what this special presentation is. Peter is beyond depressed after losing Gamora and missing his family and his home. They realize that maybe they can get him like the quote unquote perfect gift to help cheer him up. You're gonna see what that perfect gift is in just a little bit, but we're seeing how like even like the most cynic of like Rocket Raccoon are out there, they're helping set up this Christmas thing, which I'm assuming a lot of that's at the end, all the decorations and stuff.
Yeah.
But we're seeing them like really care about Peter and his well-being and his mental health, and really going above and beyond to make sure he's okay, which I really, really appreciate. Good again. I hate to use this comparison, but it's kind of like the Lifetime channel or the Hallmark movies, the Christmas movies. They're just straight up feel good films.
Yeah.
Again, this might also be kind of predictable when you're watching it, but it's a Christmas special. Like it's meant to be just this feel good holiday story. With a cosmic superhero twist.
Something special he will never forget.
What about someone special?
Something special he will never forget.
What about someone special?
We're looking for the legendary.
In some technical difficulties once again. Just give me a second. Rewind this right to there. I don't know where the sound went.
Gotta love technology.
Something special he will never forget.
What about someone special?
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
We're looking for the legendary Kevin.
Okay, I think I finally got it caught up, even though I had it paused. See if that worked. Oh, maybe not.
This worked so good last week. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bacon.
I just said that, Drax.
But your voice is small and mousy. I think maybe.
Yes.
What about some?
Why it's being so difficult. Why the sound isn't playing along with it.
Now, is it just me? But in that one scene right there where Quill has his hand on Groot's,
One special.
it looks like that version of Groot is like practical, like that's a suit, not CG.
It probably is CGI, but I understand where you're coming from in that one. Let me see if I can find that again. Oh, it's right there.
Because
And
it
that might,
definitely looks like.
I mean, that might be
Because look at the base of the neck.
yeah, that's
and
what
the
I was just
head.
thinking of. Like maybe
That
it
looks
is
like
like
a helmet.
maybe it is a suit for a stand-in. Maybe.
And maybe it was a cost-cutting thing because I don't see Marvel really dumping a whole lot of money into this short little uh special. So they might have done a practical suit for Groot this time around for certain scenes.
Well, maybe like some of these
And maybe
scenes,
they
like
just animated the face
some
they
of these
did
scenes,
with.
because I know this was shot at the same time as as they were shooting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This was shot kind of like first, but it was shot during that same filming process.
Yeah.
And you can see from like the spaceship flying around space, it's all very much high-end Marvel CGI. But this could be
Yeah.
practical. Just looking at the scene and stop, like it very much looks, like you said, like the neck thing here. But if you look in the background of like everything going on back here, it all looks like the set looks very like practical and not CGI, but almost like borderline soundstage-esque. So maybe. But I like, the ugly sweater,
Oh, I
Cat-
love that ugly sweater. I would rock that.
cat with candy cane laser beam eyes, opening presents.
I mean, I hate ugly sweaters, but I would get that one.
I love ugly sweaters. I think they're the best. I think they're so awesome. I have a great Superman one. All right, let's see if this will work.
Yeah.
What about someone special?
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
I just said that, Drax.
Your voice is small and mousy. I think maybe he didn't hear you. You're coming with us as a Christmas present.
So of course there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Bacon himself. So great to see him in this. He's talked about obviously so much, from Star-Lord, Let Loose, is it still the greatest movie of all time? Stuff like
was.
that. Drax and Mantis's relationship and their chemistry is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Very much big brother, little sister vibes. Very, very fun. Drax is no nonsense, lack of tact, your voice is small and mousy. He may not have heard you. Just those little things like that are great. But again, they've gone all the way to Earth from wherever they were to bring, in their non-humanistic minds, their morality is different. They just like, what a great present it would be to bring Kevin Bacon to Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Peter Quill would love to meet his idol. So instead of bringing Peter with them to meet him, they're kidnapping him as a present and thinking nothing of it. And the hilarity is going to be amazing. And I like how they do like this whole like starring Star-Lord. Like, it's not starring Chris Pratt and Dave Bautista. It's starring the characters.
Yeah, the characters themselves.
Which I thought that was really funny. So let's see that.
I'm Groot.
Quick, let's rewind that real quick. That's a beefy boy.
He is.
That is a beefy boy. Look at that, like, thick trunk neck.
Mm-hmm.
Groot has been working out.
Yeah, and this was what I wanted to bring up too. Is almost like this version goes back to the baby Groot face instead of being the teenager Groot that we got in game. Because if you look where his antlers are, the little stems that are coming up, or not stems, but the base of the top of his head, almost like a hairline, like he spiked his hair up, you know. they're much shorter now than they were in Endgame and even Love and Thunder.
Yeah, and his face, like, if you remember in the first one, and when he was adult Groot, it was very elongated.
But yeah, very long ago.
And this is very much more shorter and thicker, and it's again kind of playing into the whole. But then also, like, not only is he thicker, you know, very much thicker in the shoulders and the chest, but also like very spiky and kind of aggressive looking there. So I feel like this is a Groot that works out. This is a Groot that hits the gym.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If we got Teenage Groot for Infinity War and Endgame and into Thor: Love and Thunder, then this is definitely like early 20s, mid 20s, maybe Groot.
Yeah, he's hitting that redwood growth hormone.
Yeah, yeah.
He's what is that stuff called? Hitting that Miracle Grow.
Yeah.
Been shooting up that Miracle Grow, you know. He very much is. It's a, but it's also cool because it's kind of like a. I like that, like, he's different every time, and like, because again, we
makes sense because not you can plant two different, or you can plant two seeds of the same tree and they come out different. So,
Jason brings up, I think he is trying to look like Drax out of respect. Yeah, possibly.
I mean,
Or maybe he's just working out with Drax. You know, maybe that, like, you know, Drax is who he's kind of gravitated to. Hashtag adulting. Hey guys, great show. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Denise.
Yeah, so I think that Groot, like I said, in the first one, we got this kind of gentle giant, although he still was willing to, like, do what it took, but, like, he actually ended up sacrificing himself. Then we get Baby Groot, which was adorable but different. Then we got, you know, adolescent, you know, like middle school year Groot, just playing video games, not really caring, you know, foul mouth, talking back the whole nine. But then, like, through Infinity War and Endgame, kind of like grew a bit in maturity.
Yeah.
Sacrificed his arm, even though he can grow back, for the handle for Stormbreaker. You know, like, fought really hard. You know, so, and now we're seeing, you know, that was 2023 was when Endgame ended. This is probably 2025, 2026 at this point. So he's just kind of like, you know, he's in that, like, upper teenage, young, you know, like that 18 to 20 range, maybe, for, like, a human perspective, at least.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, so, but this one is like I said, kind of a jock Groot. He's very thick. He's very muscular for a tree. Much thicker than we're normally seeing. But you saw in the scene with Quill, he's taller than everybody.
Yeah.
So he's already growing, but he's not at the height. He's not at the 9 foot he was in the first one. But he's hitting that near 7 foot mark at least. And he's just much thicker. And even his voice is slightly deeper. Than even the Groot from the first one. And so that's it. So we're going to switch back to the other screen. So BRB. So that's the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special trailer. It's a very quick minute 20 trailer. But again, it lays out what's going to happen. Star-Lord is depressed. He's upset over losing Gamora. He can't handle it. He also misses family back home. I think even, like, being on Earth for even a little bit he was for Endgame might have triggered some things because he hadn't been back since being kidnapped by Yondu 30 years ago. So all of that kind of triggered some stuff. The Thor Love and Thunder, I think Thor was a bit of a distraction to where he didn't, couldn't quite think as much about what was going on. But since leaving him behind and them going off on their own, it kind of really started to hit him hard. And then it's Christmas time. And that's, obviously that's an emotional time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It is, the time of cheer and joy. It's also the time of depression.
I can vouch for that one.
Yeah, Christmas, winter, winter is my absolute favorite season of all time. I love winter so much. But, the holidays can fester up just as many bad memories and thoughts as it can good ones. And so sometimes you just need your family to help bring you up. That's what they're doing. And that's what they're looking at, And like we said before, yeah, does it seem a little weird to have Christmas outside of Earth? Yes, but Marvel has established that Christianity may span well beyond Earth. Thor: Love and Thunder talks of the god of carpentry being in the pantheon of gods. Satan won, most human soul sacrifice. So the Christian religion goes beyond Earth. It goes across the entire universe. So multiple planets could celebrate some form of Christmas because it exists in their culture. And I love the idea that, like Kraglin, I think we're going to see a lot out of Kraglin in this next film, and we'll start to see it here in this special. He's the one who's like, well, I'm keeping tabs on it. I see that the Earth calendar, Christmas is coming up. I love that Drax and Mantis, just as brother and sister, they're I mean, Drax may look at Peter as kind of a little brother, but he acts like the younger sibling alongside Mantis to Peter Quill.
Yep.
And I think that them just wanting to do something for him to help cheer him up. And of course that their thought is, well, let's kidnap Kevin Bacon. Is hilarious. It's hilarious. I love that they're bringing Kevin Bacon in. I love that they're kind of establishing this whole, I would definitely like to see Kevin Bacon do many more cameos into the MCU. Like I said, make him a Skrull for Secret Invasion. Make him pop up in Daredevil. Make him pop up, anything else on Earth. Just have him 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon throughout the entire MCU. Why not? I think that would be great.
Yeah. Denise says, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah, Yondu. Supposedly Yondu is going to be back in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, possibly like a flashback or one of those almost like Mufasa in the clouds moments. Jason brings up a good point. Wonder if Kevin Bacon will talk about his X-Men character. So, if Kevin Bacon, the actor, is canon to the MCU, is his entire filmography canon? Because in that case, X-Men First Class is canon as a fictional film in the MCU. That being said, there's no real established ideas of mutants or even as a fictional type of character in the MCU. So maybe there are certain films they will leave out of his filmography when it comes to the MCU. This is a variant of Kevin Bacon, if you will. Mm-hmm. One who was never in X-Men First Class. As Sebastian Shaw. But that's an interesting thing too. Does that bring in those films, as canon? If not, which is also we have with Hugh Jackman returning as Logan, aka Wolverine, in Deadpool 3. And as much as Deadpool loves to break the fourth wall, does he mention those films? Does he mention at least Logan, stuff like that? They've already teased how it won't stop Logan from being a thing. It won't affect that. And the fact that we got an X-Men mention in She-Hulk.
2.
It's like, when are the... I'm not talking about just Wolverine. She flat out said X-Men.
Yeah, when we're getting the X-Men.
When are we getting the X-Men? wink at the camera,
3 mutant references in one show. So
Yeah. So maybe that'll be something we have to wait and see. So this comes out November 25th, Thanksgiving. By the way, Thanksgiving is the true start of the of Christmas. It really bothered me that even before October they were already putting out Christmas stuff. It was hard to find Halloween stuff, and like, come on, let's get through Thanksgiving, then we'll decorate for Christmas. Christmas does not need to be a 4-month ordeal. But yeah, so we get this holiday special.
I want to make that a costume for maybe next year for Halloween. Santa Claus in Santa Claus suit, dressed like with a Dracula cape and fangs.
Yeah.
Just because Christmas comes earlier every damn year.
Yeah, let's get to. I'm looking at this special is going to be for me the official kickoff of Christmas season.
Yeah.
We'll get to Thanksgiving. We'll get this special. It'll be a lot of fun. November 25th is what day exactly? Calendar. So that's a Friday. The day after Thanksgiving. Which we will take.
Friday.
Which, let it be known, we are going to take Thanksgiving off. We're going to take that day off. We're going to take that weekend off. For the holiday. So, but maybe we'll do a special episode on Monday to kind of recap the special. So we won't be doing it that Thursday, the 24th. We'll be off for the holiday, but maybe we'll do like a special Monday live episode, and we'll recap the special then. Kind of similar to what we did for Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night, yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think we can do that. That'll help us, that way we can get to the holiday. But yeah, so that's it. And then of course, looking at the calendar again. No, stop. Go away. So next week is the 10th. Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever officially comes out the next day, Veterans Day, but I'm obviously going to go see it that Thursday. I know, Kel, your situation is a little bit different than mine, so you may not be able to go see it Thursday, but if possible, we will cover it. If not,
I will definitely clear some plans whenever I figure out my days off and try to go see it during the week. Catch them at name, so it'll be a little bit cheaper. So
yeah, so we will try to have it set up to where we can really discuss the film next week. If nothing else, we'll do a non-spoiler look at it. If Kel hasn't got a chance to watch it yet. And then we'll do a full breakdown. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll do like a non-spoiler talk about it and talk about the future, because this is the end of Phase 4, this film. So we'll talk about what to expect in Phase 5 next week. And then the following week after that, the 17th, that gives everybody a week to watch the movie. We'll do a spoiler review on the 17th. And then after that, we'll take a slight hiatus for Thanksgiving. We'll come back on the 28th for a special episode on Monday to cover the special. So that's what we'll do. Sounds like a plan, people? Sounds like a plan. That's what we're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be our episode for today. We're going to wrap it up a little bit early. If you're interested, I am playing the Lego Harry Potter series on stream. Tonight at 10, I'm starting year 2. Last night I did year 1. Doing year 2 tonight. And over the next, a total of 7 days, starting from yesterday, I will do all 7 years on Lego Harry Potter. To come join me for the fun in that. Also, every Tuesday is Wrestling with Toxicity at 7 p.m. With my brother. So we've got that to look forward to as well. We thank everybody for tuning in. As always, if you're on Twitch, hit that little heart follow button. Please subscribe if you're feeling ever so generous. It's just $5 a month. Or if you have Amazon Prime, it's free to you and make Jeffrey Bezos pay for it. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Please hit that like button. Please hit the notification bell. Every time we go live. And if you're on Facebook, please hit that thumbs up button. Please follow the page and please share it with all your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Geeks and Noobs podcast. We love you all. As the great Kevin Pereira says, kisses, hugs, and belly rubs. You guys, week.